What if one of the world's most famous missing child cases has a solution hiding somewhere in the shadows of a quiet Portuguese resort? A 3-year-old girl disappeared from a holiday apartment. No ransom demand, no confirmed sighting that solved the mystery, no body. And nearly 20 years later, investigators still don't have a definitive answer. What really happened to Madeleine McCann? It was May 3rd, 2007. The small resort town of Praia da Luz on Portugal's Algarve coast was peaceful. Tourists were enjoying their holidays, restaurants were busy, and families were spending their evenings together. Among them was the McCann family from Britain. Kate and Jerry McCann were on holiday with their 3 children, 3-year-old Madeleine and her younger twin siblings. That evening, the children were sleeping inside the family's holiday apartment while their parents dined with friends at a nearby restaurant. According to the McCanns, the adults had arranged to check on their children during the evening. Everything appeared normal. Until sometime after 10 p.m., Kate McCann went to check on the children. And then, Madeleine was gone. Her bed was empty. Her younger twin siblings were still asleep. The bedroom window and shutters were reportedly open. And suddenly, a family holiday had become a desperate search for a missing child. But one question immediately haunted investigators. How could a 3-year-old disappear from a holiday apartment without anyone knowing exactly what happened? Was Madeleine abducted? Did someone enter the apartment? Or had something else happened that night? The answers would remain elusive. The search began almost immediately. People moved through the resort looking for a little girl whose photograph would soon become known around the world. Police were called. Neighbors joined the search. And within days, Madeleine's face was appearing everywhere. Newspapers, television, billboards. Social media would later keep her story alive for millions of people. The world was watching. But the more people searched, the more complicated the mystery became. There were reported sightings, possible leads, and countless theories. Some believed Madeleine had been abducted by a stranger. Others wondered whether someone had been watching the family and knew their routine. And then, investigators began examining the people closest to the case. In September 2007, Kate and Jerry McCann were formally made suspects, or arguidos, by Portuguese authorities. The decision created a media storm. The couple denied any involvement in their daughter's disappearance. Years later, the investigation against them was archived, and their status as suspects was lifted. But the mystery remained. Madeleine was still missing, and investigators still had no definitive explanation. Then, more than a decade after that terrible night, a new name emerged. In 2020, German authorities identified Christian Bruckner as a suspect in Madeleine's disappearance. Bruckner had lived in the Algarve region and had connections to the area around Praia da Luz. German prosecutors said they believed Madeleine was probably dead, and they suspected Bruckner was responsible. But there was a major problem. There was no body. Bruckner was never charged with Madeleine's disappearance. He has denied involvement in the case. And without enough evidence to bring charges, the investigation remained open. So why did authorities focus on him? Investigators pointed to his presence in the Algarve around the time Madeleine vanished, as well as other information gathered during the investigation. But suspicion is not proof. And for years, the case remained stuck between theory and evidence. Then came a major development. Investigators returned to Portugal. And this time, They were searching the ground. In June 2025, German and Portuguese authorities launched a new search operation in the Algarve. The searches took place in areas connected to the investigation and reportedly included land near Lagos. Investigators examined scrubland and other locations of interest. The operation lasted several days. For people following the case, the question was obvious. Had investigators finally found the breakthrough they had been searching for since 2007? After almost 18 years, could the mystery finally be coming to an end? The world waited. But when the searches ended, there was no publicly announced discovery of Madeleine's remains. No major breakthrough was revealed. And once again, the mystery continued. But another significant development followed. The man at the center of the German investigation was about to leave prison. Christian Bruckner had been serving a prison sentence in Germany for an unrelated rape conviction. In September 2025, he was released after completing that sentence. His release immediately attracted worldwide attention. Because although he was now free, he remained a suspect in the Madeleine McCann investigation. British police had reportedly sought to interview him, but he declined the request. And despite his release, the investigation did not end. But there is still no definitive answer. And this leaves the case in an extraordinary position. Investigators have a main suspect, but they have not charged him with Madeleine's disappearance. So, could the truth still be out there? And despite one of the most extensive investigations in modern history, she has never been found. Almost 20 years have passed. But behind the headlines and theories is a family that has spent almost 2 decades living with uncertainty. This is not simply a mystery, it is their life. So, what really happened to Madeleine McCann? Because sometimes, the greatest mysteries are not created by a complete absence of clues. They are created when the clues are there. But the final piece of the puzzle is missing. And until that piece is found, one question will continue to haunt the world. What happened to Madeleine McCann? And after nearly 2 decades, will we ever know the truth?